Okay, so apparently Troy Jackson is a real one. Breaking. Troy Jackson ran anonymous account to troll Republicans online. Using an online alias, Canadians for LePage, Jackson posted dozens of times on the Bangor Daily News website, according to a CNN analysis, routinely mocking and criticizing LePage at a time when the two were caught in a political fight over Canadian loggers being allowed to work in Maine. This is what Hamilton did, huh? It's like if you're really mad at a political opponent, you just create like alt accounts and start writing treatises and publishing them anonymously or whatever. That's really fucking funny. I know Bangor Daily News is really happy to be posting on this one. Alexander Hamilton. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Shitposter meta. Hey, it means he believes what he says, right? I'd prefer an endless amount of shit like this to like the creeping knowledge that every politician is lying to you all the time and none of them give a fuck. I want people who are like actually mad. You know what I mean? Like if I'm actually mad at politics all the time. Day to day, all the time. And I get the feeling the average politician is like, yes. Oh, I'm mad as well. And then they go back to like, I don't know, drink blood or fuck kids or whatever. Like, they don't like they're totally unconcerned because they're just, you know, technocrats overseeing the decline of an empire. They're all rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, thinking that they have like a lifeboat reserved for them. He actually talked about it.
As you know,
He's so happy. He's like, yeah, I did that shit.
about any campaign, opposition research is a big part of it. And today we got a report from CNN that suggested you ran troll accounts in your past to troll Republicans online. Is that true? What's your response?
Well, I guess so. The thing about it is that I fight for workers, and during that period, me and Governor LePage were having quite a time, and he wasn't helping workers, and I'm interested in fighting for workers.
He's so cute with it though. We lucked out in Maine, man. We got the best case scenario. God, he's funny. The first big controversy they came up with on Troy Jackson, and he's like, yeah, that was me. Oops. Apparently More Perfect Union posted a video on him yesterday. No. It was El Sayed they did a video on. Gotcha. Not this one. Not Troy Jackson. I guess we'll have to cover that in the next bit then. What if he has like the Japanese Imperial Sun tattoo? Imperial Sun flag tattoo in his back? I don't know what you want from me, man. Are you suggesting like a strip search of every prospective politician from now on? Can you please spread your asshole for the camera to make sure you don't have like a sonnen rod tattooed around it or something? Full cavity search? Yeah, what if they've got tattoos inside their colon? You don't know. That's probably possible. I'm not sure. Got a hachimaki on his wiener. He's so cute.
Now, as you know, about any campaign, opposition research is a big part of it. And today we got a report from CNN that suggested you ran troll accounts in your past.
I'm sorry. I'm just delighted by. I'm sorry. He's just delighting. You know, just delightful. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm only human, folks. I'm only human. This article is some of the posts he made from his troll account. Yeah. Okay. The Bangor Daily News one. Hold on. This is another red herring by my countryman, Paul LePage. Anonymous posting like Porter governor did a criticism of the governor. Let's see. Jackson's anonymous online postings may give Democrats deja vu after Plattner was dogged by criticism of his posting habit on the website Reddit, including inflammatory statements about rural white people. Guilty as charged. Lobsterman. I don't have a particular beef with Lobsterman, but I bet I could be bigoted against them if I tried, police and black people, and comments dismissing women's fears of rape. But CNN noted that most of Jackson's surviving posts under the Canadians for LePage handle fall under the category of political trash talk. Under one BDN article about LePage's line item vetoes for the 2012 supplemental budget, Canadians for LePage trolled another commenter writing, quote, "Could you stop making pipe bombs in your basement and send me your Communist Manifesto? I have to see if you're making this up or reading from something insane." Feuded publicly with LePage. The most infamous episode in the LePage-Jackson feud came in 2013 when LePage said Jackson had a black heart and the Democratic state senator gives it to Mainers without providing Vaseline. The governor, who made his remarks to reporters at the State House, went on to say Jackson should go back in the woods and, quote, "let someone with a brain come down here and do actual good work." Jackson brushed off those comments, telling a BDN reporter that, quote, "I don't have any problem with anyone saying anything about what I stand for. He can be whatever he wants. I just think it's inappropriate the way he said it." It is so funny for Jackson to be simultaneously running anonymous troll accounts while also doing the like, oh, he seems mad. How uncouth. How droll in public. Oh my God. Successful rage bait? Yup. Yes, sir. What a fucking lion, dude. Let me see if I can find a broader coverage of this. The Republicans really have nothing on him. He's going to beat Collins for sure. He's winning only by a couple of points in the polling averages that I've seen. I just typed in Troy Collins, Troy Jackson. It's funny how the brain mixes signals up like that. Oh, new ad runner out just 5 hours ago. Hello.
Susan Collins promised she would only serve 2 terms. She made that promise in the fall of 1996. 30 years later, Susan Collins is still in Washington. Who has she served? She has served Donald Trump. She voted with him 96% of the time. She helped deliver enormous tax breaks to the corporations and the wealthy on our backs. And she voted to confirm Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe versus Wade. And what she says in Maine does not erase what she does down in Washington. We can defeat Susan Collins, and we can take back that Senate seat. So if you've ever been ignored, underestimated, pushed around, or told that you have to wait your turn, well, the
Bro sounds like he's pre-World War II, parentheses based. Yeah, because American regional accents have basically died out since World War II. For the most part, like, Americans used to sound really different all over the country, in the same way that there are a bunch of, like, micro-regional accent differences that you can appreciate across, like, the UK or whatever. But over the past 100 years, they've declined because everyone just listens to the same movies and learns how to talk from them. It's pretty unfortunate, you know? Nowadays, like, no matter where you're born, everyone in America's watching Mr. Beast, so everyone just gets the Mr. Beast voice.
Cut the line. I'm asking you to stand with us in this campaign.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's one of the reasons it's really important to protect local culture. You just have to understand it's going to change with time, too. Yeah, the most recent polling that I've seen is from 9 days ago. Keep in mind, this is before Troy Jackson got officially accepted as the replacement for Graham Plattner. 3% up on Collins, which is not amazing, but the favorability index is really in his favor here, with Collins at -18 and Jackson at +5, which makes me think that name recognition is the primary thing driving this difference. As he runs officially, I think that this is going to pull ahead. And if he could end up winning by 5 points or more, I would consider that a blowout, considering how fucking resilient Collins has been historically, you know? I think that would be big.
566 votes for Troy Jackson.
Well, this economy is not just about taking our money. It is about taking pieces of our lives away from us. And Susan Collins keeps telling us everything is just fine. And we know that we are getting screwed, and we also know who's to blame. And I'm running to change that.
When did Troy get accepted as the nominee? 4 days ago, I think.
Election is not going to be decided by corporate PACs, big pharma, insurance companies, or the billionaires funding Susan Collins. It will be decided in union halls and at kitchen tables. like hell for working class people. Well, stand with us. Because this movement is not from the left. It is not from the right. It's from the bottom. And we are rising.
The rhetoric is important. It's worth remembering that Republicans have gotten what they wanted in this country in large part because they've done the same thing. Republicans don't really frame what they're doing as a takeover from the right. You know what I mean? Like, the Tea Party wasn't successful because they were lambasting other Republicans for not being far right enough. It's that they were accusing the rhinos of being fake Republicans. Like, this is how politics works broadly, you know? The average person is not capable of really understanding the political axis to the extent that a political axis even exists. You would never want to campaign on being like, it's time to go more left, you know? You want to you want to hit on what actually matters. No, it's very, very good. It's very, very good. He did a MS Now interview the other day. Let's peek in on him. How are we doing?
And Jackson has already nabbed a high-profile
Is this in
endorsement
person or
from
over
former
audio?
Vice President Kamala Harris, who in a fundraising email yesterday alluded to her own squeezed campaign for president in 2024, writing in part, quote, "I know what it's like to step up to the plate with a short runway to Election Day."
And Troy Jackson joins us now. First of all, congratulations, Troy.
Not surprising. Kamala Harris is already prepping the disingenuous leftward pivot for the 2028 presidential race. Endorsing Troy Jackson is her own little signal that she's moving away from Biden politically. Don't trust her. I don't care what she does or says. She's had enough opportunities to rebrand. She didn't do it when it counted, 2024. I would have been willing to forgive a lot of really nasty shit she did and supported and said if during the 2024 race she had just unambiguously said, I'm breaking with Biden, I disagree with him on this. But she didn't. She subjected us instead to Trump too. The country's now being raped to death. We're all being raped. And it's her fault. And it's the DNC's fault. So... yeah, no.
On a big convention win.
Wow.
So Kamala talked about her very short campaign.
Kiss
You're
the
going
ring, Morning Joe.
to be facing the same thing. How is yours going to end differently?
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I mean, I think the difference here is that people in Maine are fed up. I mean, they got healthcare that's gone out of control. We're losing hospitals, losing birthing centers. The economy is awful, tariffs and things like that. And I just think that people in the state are ready for a change. They don't want a senator like Susan Collins that was giving tax cuts to the wealthiest people. I'm a fifth generation logger from Maine. I've been fighting my entire career to make life better here in Maine. And that's why I think people are going to come this way, because they know me, they trust me, and they know I've been fighting for them.
Notice the establishment's not opposing Jackson nearly as much as they were opposing Plattner. Means he's weaker. You means Jackson's weaker? Hard disagree. The establishment had an easier target in Plattner for two main reasons. One, a bunch of really damaging personal shit, and two, Plattner was much more committed to invoking broader anti-establishment rhetoric. Jackson is laser focused on Susan Collins right now. But Plattner did a whole bunch of general anti-DNC stuff. Worth remembering, Troy Jackson is on a lot of positions either equal to or on the left of Plattner. But he understands right now his job is to win the Senate race. It frees him of a lot of baggage. It means I personally consider the fact that the establishment's not going after him as a sign that they understand they've lost this year. Mills was Schumer's push. She lost to Plattner by an overwhelming amount, but the sentiment Plattner represented survives past him leaving, to the point where Troy Jackson was the overwhelming pick for his replacement.
I'm not fighting for the billionaire class, and you can go to jacksonformaine.com and you can find out all about it.
All right. Well, and Troy, maybe you can help us explain to people that watch this show the dynamics of what Susan Collins, what Republicans did when they voted for what they call the One Big Beautiful Bill, while also extending Trump tax cuts. So billionaires and multinational corporations got, bigger tax cuts, but Medicaid was slashed. And what we've been trying to...
Troy hasn't mentioned Israel yet. That probably helps. He has. He has called, as recently as this month, I think July 9th was the last time he made a statement on it. He had said very specifically that Israel was committing a genocide. He's also railed against AIPAC spending as a force within the Democratic Party. He is not as loud about it as Plattner was, because he is, again, like, focusing on what will win him the seat. None of this matters unless he wins in Maine. But yeah, no, it's his position on this is not secret.
Explain to people since that happened is a lot of Republicans think that may hurt people in the Bronx, that might hurt people in Brooklyn, that might hurt people in Los Angeles. But we keep saying that if you look at the numbers, that disproportionately hurts people in the reddest parts of America. Can you explain? I'm not being partisan here. This is just reality. Can you explain how slashing Medicaid impacts working class and middle class people all across Maine?
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear, and that's what, is happening here in Maine. I mean, there's an energy like I've never seen of, people that are frustrated, they're fed up. I mean, they want a government that works for them, and cutting Medicaid. I mean, we've lost birthing centers in Fort Kent. We've lost birthing centers in Holton, out in Mount Desert Island, and right now Lincoln County, and it's only getting worse. We lost a hospital in Waterville. And, and the worst thing about this is they were quite evil about the fact that a lot of these cuts are going to happen after the midterm elections. So it's only going to get worse. And you can see it, how it's going to affect our economy. People are just not going to have access to health care. And, Collins has done that time and time again. I mean, she overturned Roe, or helped overturn Roe versus Wade, made it hard for people in this country to have health care.
Fund the police. Do you support any of those things?
No, I mean, but what I do support is a government that works for everyday, people, small business owners, workers, people that actually, depend on the government to work for them. And it isn't. I mean, it just isn't. And we all know that. And that's why I say, I mean, we can have much better government than we have right now. And people in Maine are going to show up on November.
Really, really, really focused on the rhetoric that's going to work in Maine.
And Susan Collins is in trouble.
I want to ask you, you've mentioned a couple.
How do we change the conversation around defunding the police? The thing that irritates me a little bit with this being used as a litmus test for national elections is that no one in federal government can defund the police. Police are funded municipally. You have state troopers who are funded by the state, you have sheriff's departments which are funded by the county, and you have police departments that are funded by the city. The only thing that the federal government can do is defund the federal police. FBI, DHS, ICE, whatever else, and he supports crushing ICE. So I get, it's, to me, it's kind of like a vapid virtue signal a little bit on the national level.
Times the birthing centers, and I know one area in Maine where they closed the local hospital, the birthing center specifically, and women have to drive hours to get life-saving medical care when they are pregnant, which is ridiculous.
Local PDs do receive some degree of federal support through certain programs. Yeah, but that's not the majority of it. Like, it's kind of a niche element, Imagine running on defund the police as a senator, and this takes the form of you pushing for some, like, cut to marginal federal programs. Overwhelmingly, this is a municipal issue. City governments put an enormous amount of money towards their local police departments. That means the people you really need to be pitching at right now are city councilors and mayors. It's just a much more local issue,
In itself. And the comment you made about we are not stupid. I'm just curious, do you hear from Trump supporters, especially about these decisions that have been made on Trump's watch? Because Maine's an interesting state.
All right, well, Morning Joe's fucking boring. The important thing here is that Troy Jackson's a silly little boy. Where is it? Silly little boy.